What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Credit Plug channel where we talk about how to build credit, how to establish relationships with banks and financial institutions, and most importantly, how to get you access to high limit credit funding. If that's something you like to listen to, we welcome you to subscribe. Otherwise, you can support our channel if you just like, share, or comment down below. It helps our content get out to a wider audience, and we greatly appreciate the support. Before I get into today's video, I just wanted to thank all of our subscribers, both those who've been following us from the beginning, as well as a lot of new subscribers that we've gathered over the past couple of weeks. We recently hit that 20K subscriber milestone. Our channel's been growing a lot, and definitely appreciate it, and we'll continue to put out valuable content on different credit and financial related topics for you guys to soak up. With that being said, for today's video, we're doing another financial institution review. This time around, it's One Finance. Now, One Finance is another fintech company. We've done reviews recently with Grow Credit, Grain, as well as Oxygen Bank. Now, One Finance is, I would say, more similar to like a Grain and a Oxygen Bank. They offer a digital banking platform that offers a variety of different products, including savings accounts, checking accounts, as well as a line of credit, which I know a lot of you guys will be interested in. So first, I want to start out with their checking account. So their checking account, there's no minimum deposit, or you don't have to keep a certain amount in there in order to keep the account active. There's no monthly maintenance fees, and there's no overdraft fees. And that's one of the differences with a lot of these fintech companies that offer bank accounts, the no minimum monthly balance. Whereas when you go to traditional banks, you're usually going to have a minimum that you have to keep in the account in order to avoid paying maintenance fees and penalties and things like that. So that's another great benefit with these fintech companies, and in my opinion is one of the reasons why they're going to capture a lot more, especially of the millennial generation and Gen Z age brackets, because not only are they offering these mobile solutions, but they're also offering alternative funding options as well. Instead of looking exclusively at your credit score, they're evaluating much more of your banking activity, which, in my opinion, is a better indicator uh, in terms of at least what your current financial situation is, right? Because you could have a bad credit score, but also have a good job and good income, and you could also have a great credit score with no income. So, I think a lot of these fintech companies are recognizing the gap in the market when it comes to banking services. So, they're offering a lot of innovative products. And so their savings account is also interesting too, because they offer a auto save feature where a certain portion of your direct deposit, they'll set that aside, put that in a savings account, and their savings account earns 3% APY. Also, too, one thing I wanted to reiterate: their FDIC insured up to $250,000. So, this is actually a legitimate bank. And then when it comes to their line of credit, which I know a lot of you guys want to know what's the deal with their line of credit. So their line of credit is based on direct deposits, not your banking activity, or not the amount of money in your bank account, which is different from Grain, right? Grain looks at your banking activity and determines a line of credit. And from the data points I've gathered, Grain, it seems to cap out, at least now, at $1,000. That's the highest from anyone who I know that have gotten that. It was $1,000. With One Finance, the line of credit can be up to the maximum amount of your direct deposit. So from that, it seems like it can go higher depending on what your direct deposit is. So that's another good thing. Similar to Grain, they're also charging 12% APY on their line of credit. So that's kind of similar. But from what it sounds like, the One Finance line of credit can probably go higher depending on what your direct deposit is. So that's just one distinction between that. So before you go out and open an account, just remember, in order to qualify for this line of credit, you're going to have some direct deposits. So that's just one very, very important consideration with this particular product. And then in addition, they do offer peer-to-peer lending. I'm sorry, not peer-to-peer lending, but peer-to-peer money transfers. So kind of like Cash App. So for anyone who has a One Finance account, you could send money to them for free, and that money hits their account instantly. So it's kind of like I guess the same functionality as like a Cash App. And then they also have um, I guess it's like money pools. So PayPal has a similar feature where you can pull money to, let's say you have like a vacation fund or a back to school fund or whatever, right? You can pull money from different people, and different people can contribute. Let's say you have set out a goal to raise, $2,000, and it's amongst your friends, your family, whoever, right? Whoever has an account with One Finance can contribute to that campaign until you reach whatever your goal might be. So I know like PayPal has something similar where you could pool money together. So that's an interesting feature. So just to recap, right? They have the checking account, they have the auto savings account, they have the line of credit, they have person-to-person money transfers, as well as um, you know money pooling as well. So it from what it looks like, they've taken some functionality and features of some other, financial institutions and or fintech institutions rather, and kind of put them together. So, I would say, they're pretty unique in that, they're not exactly like Grain, they're not exactly like Oxygen Bank. So they have some features and functionality that are a little bit different. One other thing, like I mentioned, they're an early startup company. In terms of the application process, which I did undergo the application process last night, you do have to do identity verification. So in the app, you could take a picture of the front and back of your photo ID. So you're going to need a government issued photo ID that's not expired. And they allow you to take a picture of the front and back. And then they're also going to do a soft pull for identity verification. So that's another thing. It's not a hard pull, it's just a soft pull for identity verification. Other than that, that's pretty much it, from what I've seen so far. One other thing you might want to be mindful of with a lot of these startup companies, right? They're probably not going to have a robust like application. And then in terms of customer service, a lot of these startup companies may only have like 10 or 15 people working for their company. So in terms of getting in contact with someone, that might be a little bit, difficult, especially during non-business hours. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. Overall, this may be something to consider. I don't have all the data points on it as of yet, but definitely another fintech company that's looking to, shake things up and offer an alternative way of, banking and getting access to credit lines. So I'm very curious how, One Finance will play out. If there's anyone who has any experience with One Finance, definitely let us know in the comment section down below. And until next time, y'all take it easy, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.